gonna have to get dirty. Really dirty. Black Thunder's down. What's Black Thunder? Well, yeah, it's our 2000-ish, probably about a 2001 or 2 model years. Had this thing since new. It's almost a classic. And what we use this bad ride for, it's got the old 18, you know it's got some years on it when they still label it by the horsepowers. It's got the 18 horsepower Briggs and Stratton overhead valve engine in it. We've been through pulleys after pulleys and tie rod ends, the usual stuff on these, Kmart, Home Depot, Menards, yeah, you name it. They come in different colors with different stickers, but they're all basically the same. Anywho's, bought it brand new. It was fun. It was an upgrade from push mowing. And we transitioned to over here to our new place in the Heartland, and we bought the Hustler. And the Hustler, it's just, yeah, way better. But we kept this guy around. When Jalen and I go mow at church, we use this one. We use both of them. Kind of cuts down on the times. And then this one, although it's off right now, it has the bagger. So currently its job is, if we either accidentally or semi-intentionally wait too long to mow and we leave a lot of windrows or uncut grass laying about the yard, we'll go over it with this thing in the bagger and just kind of vacuum that grass up, put it on the garden, whatever. Did that yesterday, and I got lazy. Rather than walk all the way back to the burn pile with the grass clippings, we'll just drive back there. It ain't that far. And got about to the burn pile, and it stopped pulling. And right away, because we don't use this machine a bunch, I thought, it's just a belt or a pulley or something, no big deal. Let off, give it some more gas, or give it some more, go pedal, and it starts making noises like metal on metal, gears touching things that they're not supposed to touch noises. So I did the right thing and dumped the grass, and then got it to a point where it would kind of sort of pull itself back to the shop, and drove it all the way back to the shop making these horrendous noises. So it's in here now. It's not our #1 unit, but it is a unit that we use. We just put this year a brand new 323 battery in it, so we were planning on using it. So we pushed it over here this morning, got to figure out where we're starting at, and right away we get a little bit of a clue. If you look from back here, do you see it? If you go here, and if you go here, how's about, look real close, the space right here between the tire, how much of the tire sticks out there, and then come over here, how much of the tire sticks out here. And then we'll look a little closer, and oh yeah, we got shiny bits of axle shaft that usually aren't showing, and we got freewheel, nothing going on here. So let's see if we can't, no, oh, here we go. All right, we're gonna put you on something. We'll get that back in here. All right, let's see if we can't. It's not gonna go all the way back in. And we're just gonna keep trying here. Yep. Aha! There we go. Nope. Good now. Well, we can get it to go back into there. I thought maybe I'd get it to slide all the way in, and then we could, you know, see if it still kind of noises it makes. But over on this side, see, we're about right. We just have that little tiny bit of shiny axle showing, and it won't slide out. So somewhere in here, now in a car or truck differential, you'd have a C-clip on the end of the axle. I don't know what we have in the lawnmower, you know. Anyway, no use fighting this. We know we have internal issues. I stuck my hand up here earlier and there was grease came back on my fingers. So it's spitting out some lube up there somewhere as well. We're just gonna go ahead, pull the wheels and tires, pull this entire, the transmission forward and backwards and differential are all kind of attached here. Let's get the whole thing out and then we'll break it apart and see. You know, we're budget minded around here, so normally people just say, well, that's a throwaway mower, get rid of it. We're gonna actually try to fix. We'll even try to fix the differential, but there's grinding noises in here, and we may have heard it pretty bad. One good thing I see is we've got a barcode sticker on here still, so that should have a part number. And you know, even if we have to replace the assembly, hopefully it's got a number on there that we can use to do that. All right, let's pull this out. Oh, and it's really windy again today, so if you're getting some of that, I apologize. You know, sue the weatherman at your local station. I'm telling you, there's gonna be some thunderstorms tonight. We've got Old Glory hanging on for dear life. Yeah, that thunderstorm's popping up here and there. Progress has been made though on Black Thunder. Deck's out. We just took it out for some access. There's 2 pins on the deck that pull here, and then it just has a slide that clips into there, and a belt and a cable. No big deal. And then on this side we did have to take the park brake off the rear axle assembly. It was easier to do that than try and wrestle this big fat spring through the holder on its linkages. We've come into a new problem, and that is I've never had a wheel or tire off the back of this lawnmower, and they're stuck. They're cammed on there, kind of a slotted, I don't know, whatever you can kind of see in there. We've got the retainer washer off, and then we just put the bolt back in to protect the threads while we beat on it. We've tippy tapped on it a little bit, and neither side wants to budge at all. So we got some PB on there, kind of soaking up here. If you didn't already know, you can pluck the battery out of here, and then the little battery tray, that thing just lifts out, and that gives us access to our main drive belt. We just slipped it off the pulleys. So you have, here's your transmission pulley, and then this guy over here is your double drive pulley with the slider in it that controls, you know, your speeds, slow to fast. So we're basically ready to drop this rear end out, and I think we're going to do it without pulling the tires and wheels, because I don't want to wait and I don't want to beat on them while it's in the air here. So there's 2 little, probably 3/8 or 10mm bolts in the front, and then we have some kind of a mixed bag here. We've got some 13s or halves or whatever, 2 on each side here, and then that it should just pretty much drop out. So we're going to take the front ones out up under here. I'll show you those, and then we're going to take the 2 out on each side, get them good and loose, and then we're going to drop this down to where it's almost touching, and hopefully, you know, just kind of set it down on the ground and lift the mower off. That's my plan anyway. These 2 right here are your front ones. They should be just 10mm, or there's some oddball weird size. that I don't have down here. Nope, 3/8. Kind of a mixed bag of Americana and non-Americana on this bag ride. Oh, come on. Okay. Those two. And then these guys should be half or 13 here. I don't know if I have a 1/2 inch wrench down here. Probably not. That was quick. There's one. We'll try not to take the other one all the way out so it doesn't fall on us here. Ow. Wow, this one's really tight. Just a little bit of corrosion on here. Nut back on a little bit. Again, we don't want this just to fall down. Grass and mice. Oh, that's the brake disc. Don't worry about it. One. You guys took the good viewing spot. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think we're close. It would just go whoopsie doopsie. Man, that is just windy. Thought this belt would slip out of here, but it does not. So we're gonna have to take our drive pulley off. Thought I remembered that, but I wasn't completely sure. wasn't too bad. Here we are. We do have to get these wheels off and tires off so we can get this on the bench. But you know, nothing super telling. We were losing a little bit of lube there. But it looks like it's sandwich halves, so we should be able to take this main pulley off and hopefully pull that top cover off and get a little better view of what's going on. But for now, I'm going to beat on these wheels for a little bit and see if we can't get them off somehow. Here we are, upside down, of course. So it sits in like this. That way is to the front. Here's our shaft that is not going in all the way. We are in gear here. I can see this one spinning. Now, let's see here. Oh, there we go. Now I have differential again. And if we do this, doesn't sound horrible, guys. This might be savable. Now, I've done a lot of difficult things in my time, but getting the wheel and tire off of here when it's never been off before, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. That, wow. We went from, you know, big hammer and a punch to air hammer to, I kid you not, the bolt grip set puller, my snap-on one, and it finally, we were pushing in on these bolts. We're gonna probably have to replace both of these because we beat on them and pressed on them so hard on the ends here, but we put them back in the end of the axles, and that was probably smart. It probably saved that. But then we finally got some movement, and then even then we had to beat each one of the wheels and tires off, still hitting that center bolt with a punch. But they're off, and this is, you know, kind of good news. Well, did I just screwed it up again. Oh, there it goes. So we're gonna pop, we gotta pull this cover off, it looks like, and then probably all these little 8mm, maybe 3/8 bolts out, and then it should be 2 halves that kind of come apart. We should be able to see in here. Maybe we're just hitting missing a retainer. Looked around just real preliminarily, and I thought, well, we are about fixing stuff, but at the same time, if I can buy one of these for like $40 complete used, I'm not gonna mess with it. But no, $300 to $550 depending on, you know, the resource, eBay, whatever. Now I'm sure you could probably scrounge through somebody who's got some junk lawnmowers laying around or whatever, but let's pop this off. I'll stop rambling already, and we'll see what's inside here besides a whole bunch of black greasy goo. Gonna come on, yeah, come on. That's supposed to. There she goes. And we got a big. Okay. And that should slide off now. Looky there, they're 3/8. I'm liking it. Whoa. All right. Update. Can you see this guy? Crack. Yowzers. Okay, I mean, Nothing was leaking out of there or anything, but huh, interesting. Greasy. All right. Oh. We got some thrust washers and stuff that came loose. I don't see any chunkies right now. Oh, and what do we got? Yeah. Okay, so we've got your standard differential going on here. We've got this guy as your ties into it for your park brake. Oh, now I do see some. What do we get? Oh no, that's just grease. Now, truth be told, I've never had one of these parts, guys and gals, so we got something stopping us from coming out here. I wonder, can we just, okay, we can. Oh, okay, there goes my towels. That's all right though. Oh, here it is. I bet you. Hang on, let me move this guy. We have no chunks, you guys. No broken gears, I don't think. I'll show you what I think it is. Hang on. I think, yeah, right here. Well, no, that's just the collar. So we're gonna have to pile into this spider gear assembly a little bit. We've got something missing. I'm gonna go ahead now and pull this shaft out. If it'll come, yep. All right. Ah, it's threaded. Here, let's make sure I get this. It's threaded. We're missing a nut down inside that diff. It just came unscrewed, basically. All right. How do we get that out? We're gonna have to get dirty. Really dirty. There's absolutely no gasket. This is just grease. We got some Torx bolts holding on our ring gear. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so I verified, I cleaned up the head of one of these really well just to make sure there's no kind of keeper on the head side of that bolt. And then I also cleaned up the back side, and you can see there's press marks here where they've gone in after they installed this ring gear and then mushroomed the end of these bolts to keep them from backing out, because each one of these is just kind of, I mean, it's just hand tight in there. So you can go tighten about a quarter turn, you can go loosen about a quarter turn, and that's it. But I've stuffed some rags down into this spider assembly, and we're just going to cut off the mushroom part and further diagnose where our missing nut is and how bad the spiders are. If we can get an ultra low budget, throw this back together, that's what we're going to do. If we can go back together, when we go back together, we'll red Loctite them, and hopefully that'll, you know, do as good as this hokey little mushroom the bolts trick did. Just gonna test it on one first. Make sure my theory on removal is correct here. Yep, that's what they did. ground off. You can see this is the one that I backed out some already, so we'll probably, I mean, we're gonna go ahead and pull this spider gear assembly down as far as we can and clean it all up and re-grease it. So maybe the sticking the rags in was a little premature, but you never know how, you know, if you're gonna get to a point where even MTD said, you know what, at this point we're not gonna make these parts serviceable anymore, and we're gonna expect you to go, you know, replace this whatever assembly point they do that at. Now we're gonna flip this back over so we don't lose our guts. I wonder, no. There's our gear. All right, here's the good stuff. Spider gear. It's got all of its gears. Should have put a rag down. And then where's my, oop, here it is. Come here, buddy. Oh, we might be able to save this. Here. Look at that. It's not too badly chopped up, you guys. Let's get even more. I'm gonna go through about $30 in rags on this job, but well, it's been chewed on once or twice. Here. There's our nut. I mean, it got hammered there a little bit, but we can put that to this to the outside and have this facing, maybe not, I don't know. We'll figure out what these threads are though. They aren't left-handed, which is good. And we found that, which is good. Now, how do I get the cross pin out? Oh, see what they did, you guys. This is it. This is, like I just said, this is the point where they're saying, nope, from here on out, you are going to replace this assembly. They did the same dang thing. Here's the back side of this pin for the cross shaft, mushroomed out here. We can't take that out, which means, you know what, that's not the end of the world. We can clean that out in there pretty good. I'm trying to see, we'll clean it up, but I don't see any really broken gears. I see, you know, there's probably going to be some scarring in there, but this is a lawnmower, guys. Who gives a hoot if there's a little bit of scarring on the gears? We got to figure out what size this nut is. That didn't take long. Went over to bolt bin, 1/2 inch fine thread. Heck yes. If we don't have one, which we might, we'll go buy a 1/2 inch jam nut, fine thread, clean this up. It's going back together. We're gonna have, well, let's not say it yet, but we're gonna have, we might be gonna have, and for sure, maybe somewhat, $0 fix. And who doesn't like that? I gotta tell you, just a little more digging in the bolt bin, 1/2 inch fine thread, jam nut. This is going back together. Like, yeah, this is going back together. Okay, little parts washer followed up by brake clean, and we are golden. There's not, I mean, even a visible chip, really. I mean, it's just, we're just good. And then we wire brushed the wheel in, so hopefully our wheels will go back on a little easier. We are ready there. There's the other spider gear, all lovely. And here is the ring gear, again, all lovely. We found our jam nut, and then we even found, for this axle, we just beat on this wheel retainer bolt way too hard. It's not going back on, but we found a fine thread, 1/2 inch in the bolt bin. Life is going to be grand. Now we're going to go here. And then we're gonna go here, and this will all shove in there. Yeah, this is gonna work swell. All right, the only piece of the puzzle I haven't found yet is red Loctite. Cross your fingers that we have red Loctite. Had a little time out there. Neighbor stopped by. He's got a 87 Cadillac that's been in storage for a while that might make its way here. And I found some red thread locker, so we're just gonna, you know, douse this in it. And there was no spacer on the back side of this gear, and there is no, I've checked on the inside of here, there's no washer that got chewed up. It's just a nut that goes on here. So we're gonna take our new jam nut, thread it all the way down on here. That's it. Now we should be able to shoot, you guys. I'm a dingus. I put the ring gear on backwards. Oh, well, at least I noticed it before the red had set up. There. I was at the Irish parts store the other day, and I noticed that they have lithium moly grease, which is the gray stuff. It can be kind of hard to find nowadays. Most everybody's going nuts over the red stuff, and certain applications, this is what you want to go with, and this is one of those applications. So we're just gonna fill her up like so, and then we're also gonna take and prime this spider gear. There we go, like so. You guys probably can't see this right now. There we go. All right, we got next day action. Didn't do a lot. It's graduation weekend, so we were doing some of that, and we got more of that to do today. But we Loctited our 4 Torx bolts in and got that all ready to go. Now, some of you might be saying, Jarrett, but you know, what about the tolerances? What about all this working and getting a lot of more miles out of this? Well, you got to realize this is pretty low tech, you know, even though it's a differential, we're talking about tolerances like that. So, you know, that's probably, you know, just the looseness and the cheapness of this whole setup is what kept things from really just exploding when that nut came off. That nut should have gotten into some gears, and some gears should have broke. If that had happened in a car or truck differential, it would have been catastrophic. A couple things with this guy. There's a detent for the shifter. I can tell it's still in there, and we're just gonna, you know, kind of sort of ignore that. Maybe put a little shmoo of grease on it and hope that whatever it is, a pin or a ball and a spring, stays put while we reassemble this. And then again, no gasket here, so we got a shim on this side. We've got a couple shims over here. This guy should now drop. Oops, we gotta get our bushings in place. Should drop in here now. Okay. Oops. Oh, here, hang on. There. Look at that, guys. We're still all right there. We're gonna get, let's just use this grease over here. We're gonna put a shmoo on here. Try and keep him happy. Should do it. Oh, I just wiped it all on me. Going through some rags on this one. All right, now. Oop. Look real close right here. Our seal's got to fit in here, so we got to pop this guy up. There we go. Same thing on this side. Seal's got to fit in inside of the bushing. There. Yeah. Okay, now we've got this top piece, and it holds these are our bushings. Or shims, I guess is the right terminology in this application. These are our shims for this input shaft. So they need to go on top of this guy, and this guy needs to drop in. Flip this guy over, and we're going to vice grip the knurled part of this shaft. So now we're like that, and our shaft can't just fall into there. Now we should be able to do a little drop action here. Like so. Are we in neutral? What are we doing? Not down all the way. We finally found the issue though. These bushings are knurled and keyed so they don't spin, which makes sense. So you've got a indentation or a cam, I guess, there. And then in the housing, you have the same thing here. So this one was spun a little bit, probably just when we took it apart, and this moved a little bit. And then, so we made sure both of these flat spots are straight up and down, and that took care of our issue. So let's now, we got all our shims back where they're supposed to be. We don't need to put the vice grip on here. We can just set this puppy down on here. We should be able to. And it should be pretty happy. Like that. Should be able to just put kind of two of these screws in crosswise and make sure that it's gonna like where it's at. We got a little bit of free play there. I think we're in good shape. If you recall, good golly, running out of space around here. We've got a little bit of damage right here. So let's see what we can do about that. A little dab of do ya. We're just gonna JB weld right over that crack. This is the quick weld. And just like that, it never happened. We'll let that dry, and then we can throw this back into Black Thunder. And okie dokie, JB is set up. We rattled on our drive pulley. Everything sounds real good. Hi Mackie, who's a good boy. And we're gonna throw this together. I think we're good. Let's give her a try, huh? Well, there you have it. Black Thunder is alive and well. And if we had possibly wanted to spend the money on the part, $300 to $500, if we had wanted to buy parts, I got to the point I didn't even look yet, but we could have gotten an exploded view of that. But you saw where that third member in there and that carrier was all stamped together. So probably all that's got to come as one piece. You're still talking a couple $100. We fixed it for $0. Maybe I shouldn't say zero, because we went through like a whole roll of shop rags, but everything else we had on hand. So that's a huge money saver, and that's what this channel is all about. If you like what you saw, click the like, we'd appreciate it. Consider subscribing, that's always awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. We'll catch you on the next video.